Okay, EIA in just a couple of minutes here. I have gold oil next to it here. Oil is back to the upper range off of the lower linear regression line. We're kind of in between two of them here. It's basically trading back into the lower areas here. I still view this as weakness. You know, the high, shoulder, lower high, you know, you move up and then come back down again. Let's see here, equities. Equities, they basically turned right off the open. And they're not looking very healthy. So much for my biorhythms. But we're trying to, the Dow's trying to hang something right here. We are trading below, 3 of the 4 trading below the overnight. NASDAQ still holding in there. Let's go here, 1 minute to go. Okay, so we have, basically, I'd look to sell any strength in oil here. Natural gas, the heavy volume bar yesterday, this type of pattern. But like I said, I'd be more inclined to be interested in natty gas below here. But like I said, you know, to buy those distant months, if I was ever going to pick up some distant months, the hard sell-off was it, because that was the opportunity that I didn't have to work the trade, just put it out there and someone will hit me. But like I said, I'd rather prefer to wait to see how the season shapes up. Maybe go into some put writing again, but this is going to, you know, this is the best, the hardest sell-off that we had. We sat with open interest. Okay, so it slid off. This is this morning's high. And I have the December contract up here. Okay. Okay, so now on the December, this is a 2-hour, 20-day. Basically, it's pausing right at the lower of the 70% range. That's where all this is. So basically, this is how it works. I'd be interested in shorting, so it'd be new open interest. Other people that went, okay, I won't do that again, they'll be getting out too. So you have multiple selling going on. The other thing was that October 27, my birthday. Just a few down years around my birthday. I think it was 1997. The Dow was down over 500 points. It was a Monday. So we have Monday, I think, is the last day of trading for October. Okay, so now we're getting a pullback. Typically of this pattern, it usually holds in this area. And there's yesterday's support area, so I'm going to include that in here. And typically, this is where it supports. Now we're going to get all the people that were smart yesterday saying I locked in profits. Just how it goes. Oh, yeah, I took it. Wow, you made it. You didn't even make it a full day. But that's how it goes for flipping these things. And then oil over here. Not much going on with oil. Oh, we are getting the movement in oil. There we go. ETUs. Okay, need to set some alarms here. And then if it comes back down here. We'll do it that way. Okay, so basically you have the range here. In theory, if it breaks on through, it's basically a sideways channel, but if it breaks on through, you buy and place your stop below the low, trail it up. If it comes back through here, it'll come down, but I would be then interested in maybe working the angle of some short puts to add to longs. This was a pretty good pullback here at the open interest. Canadian dollar's coming off. Let's take a look here. The Canadian dollar should be going higher then. Okay. And then on a 20-day 2-hour, you can see that it lost its momentum and paused. So that was, let's see here. I need to set an alarm up in here. A lot of these go off at night, which is good because it tells me go after it there, buddy. Okay, let me take a look. We have 15. Okay, so we need to get it through here. That'll work for me. How far am I out of the 93? That'll work. Want to, if it swings through here, then it should go back up to like 95.40. So that's about 45 points or $450 on a contract. Comes through here. Like I said, basically flipping except for the equities this morning just stalled right on the open. Right at resistance areas too. Couldn't just get through it. That Russell just rolled on over and pulled everybody. But it's early in the day. Now think of it this way. Okay, last Thursday it was all over the board, right? Okay, so here's the same thing again. We're an hour into trade. We sell off. Now this morning I was looking for follow through to the upside. We actually had pullbacks. But now we're pulling back. Now, if it comes back through, the people who are short off the open will now have to come screaming after it. And then you'll have new longs, which would be what I was looking for this morning to help push it higher. So it may be another crazy day just like last Thursday. And it was, could you imagine if we took out the highs today? But that's how I have to look at it. But for right now, we're still stuck in those ranges. Okay, so we're getting, let's take a look at the dollar index here. Whoops. Dollars here. I'd like to see it come back through here. That'll work, right? I want it a little higher, but we're close enough. Okay, so the dollar's coming off. Does it every shoulder had another shoulder? Pull back into the low 98s. No, maybe a half a buck here. So that's $500 on the contract. Basically, trend lines here. Natty is range bound. So the Dow stalled and the NASDAQ rolled over. All right. Take a quick run through again. Okay, now this would be if you are short. There's the first break. I'm using the NASDAQ. The first, it hit 48.80. That was resistance, bounced off. It came down to 70 and paused, 60. Now we're at 50 and paused. So if you were short, you'd put your, let's take a look here. My thing is to see if we get another reversal. The Dow is still kind of holding there. Let me, these go in order. And Q, yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's just start. Okay. All right. So we basically did, we got a push through, didn't hit the resistance levels, and then we had a reversal. So here would be as if palladium or platinum came through, okay, you'd have chasing coming on. That's what the setup right now, just like with equities, the chase. It loses momentum on the morning reversals. Okay, here's notes. The rates are moving higher. Okay, so here's our ES again. We got into this is the bell curve. I want to break this down shorter here. Let's do it this way then. Okay, so here's where we're trading right now. Okay, so if you're short, okay, there's the 40 level. You broke back into the 40 level, and it came back through, and all of a sudden you're at the 37 level, and now we're down below the 28. But if you're short, you want to reverse this way. Okay, so that's how it. If you were short up here, you know, all of a sudden it comes through, you short again. You move your stops from up here to here, and with here, now the deal here is, in theory, if you if price comes through here, you short it again, and then you move your stops here. So you basically, this was kind of went above the resistance line and came back through. So even if you use it as a trend line, you short it, put your stop up here, pauses, breaks through again. You move your stop from here to here. So now you're short two. When it's shorted, so you shorted here, you shorted here. I guess you could use this. This is the pivot line. Came to pivot, broke through it, short there. Another pivot line. So here you technically short, but here's where would be your stops. Okay, so the Dow's still holding in there. Need to get to the NASDAQ here, Kev. Fives, selling going on there too. Crude oil, we're getting a bounce here. So we're getting a bounce off this median line. And here's the first pause. Happy place, back to 50-50. Okay, so that should help the Canadian dollar. This is the euro dollars. Kind of a pause here, running into cash. Okay, this is interesting. We're talking about the cocoa and the amount of money flow into it as it approached the upper linear regression. And then we had basically a repel, and we came back. So in theory, all these folks in here are going to be going, hey, I won't be doing that again. Okay, so here you'd be looking for another short area. Beans. All right, beans are everywhere. So here's the upper linear regression. Came down, here's pivot, bounced off pivot, back up to linear regression. So here I'd want to have a resting short that follows this up. Okay. All right, from yesterday's little move, so we're at 29, so the next levels, we're into this area. So I mentioned, I think 34, 36, and then 40. So we'll see about that. We'll go, let's see, we're gonna do 33. I'll do 33 3/4. That's a good one. And then another one up here, 36, 36 3/4. 36 3/4. Okay, it's on the beans to see if it, you know, for the hedgers and that, because we had a move from here, lower regression to the upper regression. Okay, basically $1, which is $5,000. Not bad for a couple of weeks worth of work. Okay, all right, so hit the upper linear regression. You had your first wave of selling. They bought it into the pivot. They ran it the other way. Now you're going to have people who are long that would want to sell. You're going to have the shorts up here that are like, uh-oh, do I short again? Do I add to my quote-unquote loser? In my case, I'd be looking that if anything comes up here, because then you're going to get both the shorts that have to cover, and you're going to have the longs that would want to get out. You know, if you bought into here at 14 and you get, you know, 20 cents, that's $1,000. You might take it and go, okay, that's pretty good. And then the reversal would be, because it hit the upper linear regression a few times, we're back into the low 20s here. That's how I'd kind of look at it. Lots of, you know, the money flow. You know, money flow was low down here. That was your entry. Here you have to be thinking about getting out of your exiting. You know, logical spots that would stop. Prices would stop. Bonds, new lows, you know, we're doing it on the rate side. Here's twos. Twos need to catch up. That's the weakness here. Okay, so here we have the NASDAQ. All right, so the NASDAQ basically came up to 48.80. So we have the high on Monday. Okay, here's Sunday buyout, right? We talked about this. Sunday buyout, Monday opened up at the high, came on down. Wednesday, we thought that they would sell the low, and they did. Okay, so now we had the run up overnight. So you have the shorts in that opens up to 48.80, which was a number that we talked about before, reversed all the way down. Okay, so now there may be a lot. There's a couple of dots down here. So here you have the reversal. So this basically, when you have this, it cleans out both sides. But if this holds, how close do I want to have this? We'll do this dead area here at around 61. What I'm looking for is that people who shorted here and all of a sudden it starts coming back against you, they may have to cover on here. Okay, and now the ES cleared 5 minute. Okay, so the ES came up here and cleared. Okay, so in my case, this will be my new target for on the downside. Okay, first off, let's look at the picture. Okay, we're gonna, if this comes through on the upside, we're gonna come back into the low 30 areas. Okay, and these would be areas that that would pressure the shorts. Okay. And if we lost the 28, then it would be the short side, and I would assume then that here, once again, we're below the, you know, the 2040 area. 2120 is a long. A lot of people draw a line there at 2120. It's Thursday, so now here, this is your weekly bar, right? Your weekly bar is, and basically this is. Whoops, gotta go back a little bit further. So here's your weekly bar, you know, came into Monday, sold it off, comes up, that's the best it could do. And you start sliding down here, your weekly bar is gonna look ugly. It's gonna basically have an outside, you could end up with an outside reversal pattern. You traded higher, hit the stops here, went up, was repelled pretty good here. Okay, and then you hit the stops down below. You already hit them on Wednesday. Did you take out that? Almost. You almost took out Friday's low. It's at 23. I'll put an alarm down there. I'll do 23.75. Be a little bit early. I'm gonna have to switch. Okay, so right now, So the Dow did hold. S&P kind of held. The NASDAQ is holding. We're all back to that Russell. The Russell came back down. We need the Russell to come back through here. All right. New low. So the Russell, you know, new low. Talked about that yesterday. Where's that daily here? Okay, see it jabbed on through. That's sideways. So the Russell now is trading, you know, the bears are definitely losing it here. Possible double top. It can poke through and reverse and come through the other way. So that's why you have to basically give it the close today and then Friday. But the bears are definitely winning over here in the Russell department. And it's a sign. If this one can go and make a new low, then what about ES? You know, just going through them real quick here. ES would come back, you know, we'd clear the 2120 area and then 2110, and then we'd drop down. Dow, same thing. You know, you break sideways, distribution pattern, and a hard slide. The hard slide is next. If the bulls can't pull this thing out, the hard slide is next. And Q, this was the strongest, which becomes the weakest. Poke through here to clear down in here. We're 86. It'll lose. The Nasdaq will lose 200 in a hurry here. Okay. Short side of the Nasdaq. We talked about watching QQQ options this week. And it basically turned out to be what, Monday, Wednesday, and today. I talked about the VIX calls, VXX calls, and it was definitely just right on the open. Let me take a look here. Let's see here. VXX. Take a look. One more day here. Volume, open interest. So let's take a look here. The low was 31, high at 32. Okay, so we take a look at the open interest. If you're a call writer, you definitely want to bang it towards 31 or 32. So right now I'd say that overhead is going to be around 32, which we're at. So any of these naked writers here on the calls would have to chase after it. So what you can have is, because they're messed up in the options department, they end up shorting the futures. It's kind of like what happened in 1987. They were short the puts, and the stuff went in the money. And of course, the percentages, you know, greed. They ended up having to go in and short the futures because they were short if there's nobody on the other side or it's too wide, you have to do it, you know, if you're caught. And on the put side, yeah, they're definitely going to keep this thing around away from 30 and a half. Okay. What do we have for next week? Okay. Not much there. And they're going to want, okay, so for next week here, they're going to want to keep the VXX over 33 for next week to get these options to expire worthless. Or, yeah, 33. So these are the puts. And they will want these to expire worthless, you know, right? Options are what? They're either 0 or offset, right? That's it. That's the 2. So it's either 0 or 100, right? Now we're at 2 here, so may get my drift. So because of these puts, I'm a professional. I'm like, hey, just write the insurance. You know, when am I going to get a black swan? That kind of thing. You know, so they're going to want to keep this above 33. We're at 31. So the long side, and what I was actually looking for, they did buy I wanted to see what the lows were. Okay, so the low, you know, it's kind of like this. It didn't get to quarter, but at 20, you know, you can buy 4 or buy 3, you know, that kind of thing. Now take a look at it. You say you bought $100 worth, about 3 of them. Well, now it's at 150. We'll say, okay, right? So what do you do? Well, you know, if you get 50% in the first hour or something, you know, you can always take off part of it. Let's see here. Okay, so they were at 50 cents. You bought 3 at 30, sell 2 at 50. You get your money back approximately, right? So you get your money back, and now you're playing 1 on the house. Okay, here's at you know, you could have bought you know, say 5 at 20. Okay, so you need $100. You could sell 3 at 33. Oh, what was the high? Okay, so where am I at? Back here, I'm at the high. So where was I? So here, so you bought let's do it this way. Low. Okay. So say you bought 5 at 20. Okay, you need to get $100. Well, you can sell 3 at 34, 30, you know, that kind of thing. Or you bought them at 20. You know, sell one at, you know, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, that kind of thing, and walk them up. Okay, so that's when I talk about taking a $100 bill, putting it in the slot machine. Say you buy 5 of these at 20. You know, you just slap it on there. 5 of them at 20. You know, sell one at you know, well, it's depending upon your commissions, you're going to need like at least 22, 23. So, you know, one at 25, one at 30, one at 35, one at 40, one at 45, and you're within 2 cents. So you walked out of it. Now you have to think to yourself, do you want to get in again? Okay, these are 20. So if I know they're going to want to hit these next week, I want to buy the calls for next week. So 32, we're kind of down here. What's the low? 67. How about we try and we go up today? Okay, so then what we do is we'll buy, well, why don't we look at the chart? Delete. Okay, where am I at? All right. Let's see here, maximize sell. And I need this guy. Okay, so here's the option. All right. There's your support levels. And for this week, so basically it opened up on the lows, which was the highs, of course. So here, so the low 80s. So go to active trader, put some on. And this is the fuddy-duddy account because of people get excited if you front run. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a spike here. So here is for next week. I was looking at 74. We'll do it this way. 81. What's that put me back to? We'll say like 84 and 85. Okay, they say 20, but you could just do 1 or whatever. What I'm trying to do is to get it back. If we do start running the other direction, the Russell is just not hanging in there. So basically what I'm doing is putting these here, you know, 1 at 85, 1 at 84 for next week. And then I want to get down to like 74. Okay, so you can say 1, 1, 1, 1. Of course, it's $80 or whatever, 85, 84. I'm trying to buy in weakness because I'm looking that they're going to try and take these and move them up to 30. What's it, 33, 34. Okay, so I'm trying to buy, just like I talked about, trying to buy some of these on weakness. Say I missed this morning, you know, logical area, like 73. You know, like I said, I don't know what you guys have for accounts. I don't. In general, it's pricey. I'd rather buy the stock, right? You know, this is pretty, you know, I can make, okay, say it goes to 33. Well, you know, if you buy the stock now, it's a better bang. What's this down here? 58. That'd be in the 60s. Okay, at the low, just in case we do cruise to new highs, 63, 61. Okay, So how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I don't recommend this. Okay, so it's 8 of us. It's like 600. Well, we'll just say, what did it say? 8 of them at 85. So 85, 8, 6, 7. This is a $700 play if you buy one each. I don't expect all of these to fill, but what we'll do is we'll follow these to see if the market does turn and it comes back down. Okay, because we're basically just buying. We were looking to buy some for tomorrow, but basically, to me, the easy money has moved. You know, you just let the stuff sit there. I was looking for the market to run. It comes on through, you know, that kind of thing. So this is just sitting here for next week. But if I look at the stock, you know, if I look at the stock here, we're banging up on here. So here, okay. So we're looking for what, 33 for next week. So somewhere you want to try and get back in 31. So as close to 31 as possible. You can see where my options are. I need to actually go a little bit deeper, but because of the time premium, we'll say the next 2 days. So, you know, in my case, if we swing, like I said this morning, I was looking for a swing higher. It didn't happen, but my intentions were to buy the options on the discount. Okay, now that I look through the VXX, it says, okay, we're shooting for 33 next week. You know, so, you know, if the stock gets down to 31, that's $2. That's what, 8% or so, 7%, a little less than 6%. In a week, technically, that's like an annual return. So, you know, you have to keep things in reason. Yes, every once in a while, you'll get some of these options that just go haywire. But remember that most of the time, they're either offset or go to zero. So, you know, for me, it's cheap, and that's what it was. You know, who would, you know, I was basically buying the calls the day before they expired. So that's the old, you know, $100 in the slot machine. So you saw how that played out. So, and in my case here, on any weakness, I kind of want to buy. I want to get into the VIX stuff, especially after this morning. Another shot at the resistance, and it couldn't do it. So we're definitely narrowing things up a lot here. Something's going to have to give. So, and then we have, let's see, Amazon earnings tonight. Facebook, excuse me. Whew. Wow, that's been a long time since I've done that. So let's just run through some more here. All right. Let's go back to crude. All right. 40, almost 50. Here's beans. Okay, so beans came back through to the deep beep. All right, so any strength in beans now, you want to short bonds. They're not running into on this weakness. This just NASDAQ just looks like it's not going to make it here. This will be probably my last alarm on the upside. Give it a shot, but it just, you know, the run up, the pullback barely broke out of it, came down as pretty deep, gave it another shot. It lasted 1 day and reversed. So you can see what happens if it gets here. You have your, you know, multiple top up here in a reversal. And the NASDAQ, the strongest will become the weakest. You know, well, Dead-eye Amazon. Okay, and then you're going to have Facebook next week and stuff. So Euro, it's kind of quiet. It didn't get any higher. Didn't get any higher than yesterday. So that one hit the initial targets. I like the short side, but not much of a setup. Gold, basically, it couldn't muster anything there. We're up $1.40 at 68. Let's see about the 15-minute here. Yeah, everything ran up and got beat on. Boy, they just came in there and whacked it, didn't they? Across the board. Pretty quick on the flips, huh? Bam! Came over. All right, this one's going to reverse here, the corn. That would be a decent short right there. because you have this, that, yeah. In theory, you want to short down here because you'd have a double, shoulder, head, shoulder type of deal. The neckline is where you want to short it, then your stop is up here. Soybeans, get to watch the, yeah, there's my pound coming back down. Okay. I have to watch the pound on this pullback. All right. Japanese yen broke down to the downside. Now we have to keep close tabs to see if it reverses here on the support and comes back in. You can see the money flow came out of it. So I'm going to lean that. Where's the US? Let's see, it was at, we're at 105. All right, so we have a round number, the same thing here too. So see how this handles, and then going back, the bottom of the cloud is around 104.80, so that's 20 pips. So we'll see. I'm going to guess, just because of the behavior of the money flow here on the pullback, people that got into it, they held on as the price came down, and then they puked it up. So like you saw here with the puke, same type of deal. I gotta believe that we're gonna come back up here. I do like any weakness, any weakness, because the dollar is gonna continue higher. Netty gas, 4 hour. What do I got going on here? Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so look, you can just see a wee money flow. They just couldn't wait to, and then it's not working. So just like we saw in the end, probably the same thing in natural gas will come down, and these folks will have to get out of it. So here they are. Think about this one. They may have gotten in down here. They supported the dip. They got up, they got all frothy, and now all of a sudden they're going to sell into this here. That's what I'm guessing. An alarm right. 5 and 4 should work. I'll move it up to 7. 6A. Bonds. Canadian dollar. See about a reversal. Oops. Kabowie, look at that. Where are we at? Oh, we're stuck in here. That's a pretty good spike there. There's money flow. Geez, they're not even in it. That's interesting. And copper came up, came down, and we're paused under here. So the coppers, watch your copper longs. Okay, see, we talked about the VIX coming down with the money flow down here. Came back through. Mexican peso, they're coming out of it now. So you're looking to go long this somewhere down in this area. Here's the oil we looked at last couple of days, and that's the first one to break down. And wheat, if you're a producer, you got yourself another 20 cents, so I'd do a little hedging. Silver, not much either way. You know how oh, look at this here. Money flow came out. See if we get something here with the metals. I have to believe, though, that this Russell, somebody's gonna have to try and push this thing back in. I mean, now I'm trying to give you bulls. You're gonna have to push this thing back in here. It's not looking too good here. And sugar, that's a whole right, the options. And this is a nice reversal of coffee. Yeah, this, like I said, didn't I mention yesterday that this looked like it did look like natural gas out poked on through, and now we have the reversal. So watch out in coffee. And okay, that one's getting oversold. There might be some support in here. 70.80 in the 70.80 in the Kiwi futures. And Swiss franc looks like it's going to get a little bit of attention here. It's usually a place that they go and hide. What do I want to look at? I want to go through these again with you. Whoops. Some of the things that I put on. Let's see here. Okay, so, okay, BZQ. This thing doesn't seem to, oh, well, maybe we finally got a reversal bar here. Russ should come under pressure because of oil. We got up to there, a little frothy on the, people got a little bit excited here. And what was the other one? Oh, Tex. Okay, Tex. That's quietly, that's a quiet bar here too. Okay, so 2 out of the 3. Russ is the only one, and that's because of oil. See how oil works out on the Russ. If I was going to add back a little bit by where, you know, if you flipped it, you know, a little bit back to where it was purchased before, I'd be interested in here's the happy place. So we're trading below it. So the bulls have to get it above like 41. All right. So VIX calls are being filled here. Here's the first one at 85. Okay, so those are for next week. So we'll just see how we're playing out. This is a little early on the price, but that was just because I wanted to, you know, slap something on the screen, and we let the market come to us. Blah blah blah. Like I said, the day is not done, and you know, the bulls can pull this out, just like with the Russell. If the Russell does come back in, then you'd be thinking about some serious short covering on here. So the Russell's 1194. I gotta just assume that they're gonna at least try to get it back above 12. So that's a good few points there. But if it any carry through, then we're gonna work into the hard slide. So be on your toes. So everybody have a wonderful morning. It's 8 a.m. Thursday the 27th. This was the EIA natty gas. And then I went and looked at the futures. Yeah, sideways. After a hard move, sideways. Digestion. Okay, toodles.